더 일하라고요? 그렇게 합죠. 무슨 일이죠? 끌어줘. 네. 무슨 일이죠? 예, 나으리. 더 일하라고요? 작업 준비 끝. 알겠습니다, 나으리. 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 더 일하라고요? 네. 예, 나으리. 작업 준비 끝. 알겠습니다, 나으리. 더 일하라고요? 무슨 일이죠? 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 더 일하라고요? 작업 준비 끝. 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 좋아요. 네. 더 일하라고요? 준비 끝.
피곤하다.
작업 완료. 무슨 일이죠? 작업 준비 끝. 작업 완료. 예, 나으리. 작업 준비 끝. 작업 완료. 더 일하라고요?
전투 준비 완료. 명령을 내리시겠습니까? 네, 전하.
작업 준비 끝. 네. 거긴 못 짓겠는데요. 그렇게 합죠.
명령만 내려주십시오. 전투 준비 완료.
예, 나으리. 끌어줘.
연기 있습니까?
작업 준비 끝.
금이 더
명령만 내려주십시오.
누가
예, 나으리.
할일좀 주게. 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
알겠습니다.
뭔가
무슨 일이죠?
한번 날뛰어볼.
예, 나으리. 작업 준비 끝. 네.
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
더 일하라고요?
공장을 더
네,
지어야 합니다.
날뛰어볼.
예, 나으리.
뭔가
작업 완료.
일좀 주게.
작업 준비 끝. 더 일하라고요?
뭔가 훌륭한 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
명령만 내려주십시오.
일좀 주게. 한번 날뛰어볼.
작업 준비 끝. 무슨 일이죠?
전투 준비 완료.
끌어줘.
뭔가 잘 보라.
필요한 게 있습니까?
저리 비켜.
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
네.
뭔가 가자. 지금 가고 있네. 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 뭐들 준비나 해.
전투 준비 완료.
한번 날뛰어볼. 뭔가 할 일
작업
좀
준비
주게.
끝.
명령만 내려주십시오.
뭔가
더 일하라고요?
전투 태세. 공장을 더 지어야 한번 날뛰어볼.
예, 나으리.
필요한 게 있습니까?
저리 비켜.
무슨 일이죠?
뭔가
작업 완료.
가자. 가드 모다를 위하여.
네.
뭔가
네.
일좀 주게.
무슨
아군
일인지
병력이
모르겠는데요.
공격받고 있습니다.
더 일하라고요? 알겠습니다, 나으리.
한번 날뛰어볼.
네, 전하. 명령에 따르겠습니다.
일좀 주게. 한번 날뛰어볼.
전투 준비 완료.
무슨 일이죠? 그렇게 합죠. 네. 좋아요. 작업 준비 끝. 더 일하라고요?
뭔가
예, 나으리.
뭔가 할
연기
일좀
있습니까?
주게. 한번 날뛰어볼.
네, 좋아요. 예, 나으리.
뭔가
더 일하라고요? 더
훌륭한
전투 준비
일하라고요?
완료.
공장을
명령만
더 지어야
내려주십시오.
네, 작업 완료. 끝. 예,
뭔가
나으리. 네,
뭔가
예,
할 일좀
나으리.
주게.
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
더 일하라고요?
한번 날뛰어볼. 뭔가 할 일좀 주게. 뭔가
작업 준비 끝.
준비나
네,
해.
전하. 명령에 따르겠습니다.
훌륭한
무슨 일이죠?
명령을
한번
내리시겠습니까?
날뛰어볼.
무슨 일이죠? 거긴 못
알겠습니다,
짓겠는데요,
나으리.
거긴 못 짓겠는데요. 거긴 못 지겠는데요.
점중에
명령만 내려주십시오.
점중에 뭔가 한번 날뛰어볼
무슨 일이죠?
저리 비켜
필요한 게 있습니까?
더 일하라고요?
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 가자 한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 지금 가고
네,
있네
전하.
작업 완료.
한번 날뛰어볼
예, 나으리. 알겠습니다.
얼마나
작업 완료.
한번 날뛰어볼
금이 더 필요합니다.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게
금이 더 필요합니다. 금이 더 필요합니다.
작업 완료. 네. 무슨 일이죠?
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 뭔가 한번 날뛰어볼 가자 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게
무슨 일이죠?
뭔가
명령을 내리시겠습니다.
한번 날뛰어볼 저리 비켜 지금 가고 있네 저리 비켜 훌륭함 가자 지금 가고 있네
업그레이드 완료.
훌륭함 가자 지금 가고 있네 저리 비켜 훌륭함 가자
명령만 내려주십시오. 필요한 게 있습니까?
연구 완료.
할일 좀 주게 지금 가고 있네 저리 비켜
네, 전하.
훌륭함
가는 중입니다.
한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가 한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가
더
할일 좀
일하라고요?
주게
좋아요. 예, 나으리. 거긴 못 지겠는데요. 그렇게 합죠.
안녕하셔.
가자
뭘
지금
도와드릴까?
가고 있네 저리 비켜
연구 완료.
한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가 할일 좀 주게
전투
훌륭함
준비 완료. 명령을 내리시겠습니까?
한번 날뛰어볼 가자 지금 가고 있네 뭔가
필요한 게 있습니까?
비켜 훌륭함 지금 가고 있네 저리 비켜 잘 보라 전투 태세 가자 뭔가 할 일 좀
네,
주게
전하.
한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 전투 태세
명령만 내려주십시오.
뭔가 지금 가고 있네 가자 저리 비켜 훌륭함 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게
명령만 내려주십시오.
작업 완료.
알겠습니다.
뭔가 박살내
필요한 게 있습니까?
네.
한번 날뛰어볼 지금 가고 있네
만화가 부족합니다.
저리 비켜
네,
작업 완료.
알겠습니다. 네, 전하. 네. 명령을 내리시겠습니다. 명령에 따르겠습니다. 필요한 게 있습니까? 전투 태세로. 명령만 내려주십시오.
아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
뭔가
네, 전하. 가는 중입니다.
가자
네. 거긴 못 지겠는데요.
한번 날뛰어볼 훌륭함 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 저리 비켜 한번 날뛰어볼 뭔가 한번
예,
날뛰어볼
거긴 못 지겠는데요.
뭔가 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 훌륭함 지금 가고 있네 뭔가
무슨
할일
일이죠?
좀 주게
완료.
거긴 못 지겠는데요. 작업 완료.
한번 날뛰어볼
쏴버릴 놈이라도 있나?
뭔가 할
명령을
일 좀 주게
내리시겠습니까?
한번 날뛰어볼
더 일하라고요?
뭔가 가자
작업 완료.
뭔가
연구 완료.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게 한번
아군 병력이
날뛰어볼
공격받고 있습니다.
뭔가
필요한 게 있습니까?
뭔가 할 일 좀
명령만
주게
내려주십시오.
한번 날뛰어볼
예, 나으리.
뭔가 가자 비켜 훌륭함 한번 날뛰어볼
연구
뭔가
완료.
할일 좀 주게
네, 전하.
더 일하라고요?
금이 더 필요합니다. 금이 더 필요합니다.
무슨 일인가?
한번
더
날
일하라고요? 저도 멀리
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
지금 가고 있네.
금이 더 필요합니다.
네.
금이 더 필요합니다. 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
예, 나으리. 좋아요.
한번 날 뛰어볼까? 훌륭함. 지금 가고 있네.
무슨 일인가?
한번 날
작업 준비
뛰어볼까?
무슨 일이죠? 알겠습니다, 나으리.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 뭔가 한번
장전
날
예,
뛰어볼까?
나으리. 더
뭔가
일하라고요?
무슨 일인가?
이렇게
뭔가
합죠.
할 일 좀 주게.
이슈라도
뭐가 필요한가?
기다리고
뭔가
있다.
할 일 좀 주게.
필멸자여.
가자.
이런 잡담은
한번 날
지겨울
뛰어볼까?
뿐이다.
가자. 다들 준비를 해.
저도 멀리.
다들 준비를
네.
해.
더 일하라고요?
뭔가 훌륭함.
뭐가 보이는
한번 날 뛰어볼까?
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
뭔가
뭐가 필요한가?
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 저리 비켜. 한번 날
업그레이드
뛰어볼.
완료.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 뭔가
저도 멀리
가고
오네.
있네. 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 뭔가 한번 날 뛰어볼까?
아기
한번 날
근처에
뛰어볼.
있다.
저리 비켜. 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
뭔가 할 일 좀
업그레이드
주게.
완료.
1번 사수 대기 중.
뭐가 보이는
뭐가 필요한가?
나무가 더 필요합니다. 나무가 더
한번
필요합니다.
날 뛰어볼까?
1번 사수 대기 중.
연구 완료.
무슨 일인가?
가자.
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
필멸자여.
지금
무슨
가고 있네.
일인가?
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
뭐가 필요한가?
한번 날 뛰어볼까?
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
한번 날 뛰어볼까? 훌륭함. 뭔가
이런
할 일 좀 주게.
잡담은 지겨울 뿐이다.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 한번 날 뛰어볼.
1번 사수 대기 중.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
1번 사수 대기 중.
무슨 일이죠?
연구 완료.
예, 나으리.
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
한번 날 뛰어볼. 어수 태세. 숨에 맞서긴 훌륭함. 지금 가고 있네. 두렵지 않네. 뭔가
기다리고 있다.
한번 날 뛰어볼. 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게. 한번 날 뛰어볼. 뭔가
예, 나으리.
비켜. 가자.
도움이 필요합니다.
비켜.
무슨 일인가?
좀 주게. 훌륭함. 역시 안 지금 가고 있네. 가자. 뭔가 좀 주게. 한번 날 뛰어볼. 훌륭함.
아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
비켜. 뭔가
명령을
뭐가
내리시.
필요한가?
한번 날 뛰어볼. 명령만 내리게. 뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
무슨 일인가?
아기 근처에 있다.
작업 준비 끝.
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
대기 중.
가자. 숨에 맞서게 가고 있네. 한번 날 뛰어볼.
금이 더 필요합니다.
뭐가 필요한가?
뭔가 할 일 좀 주게.
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
작업 준비
한번
끝.
날 뛰어볼.
사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
가자.
뭐가 필요한가? 아싸!
뭔가 명령만 내리.
무슨 일인가? 1번 사수 대기 중.
기다리겠다. 숨에 맞서게.
뭐가
한번
필요한가?
날 뛰어볼.
그렇지. 사버릴 놈이라도 있나?
뭔가 뭔가
더 일하라고 좋아요.
1번 카드
한번 날 뛰어볼.
내가 처리하지.
금이 더 필요하고
무슨 일인가?
난 두렵지 않네.
무슨 일인가?
금이 더 필요하고
버리는 놈이다 명만 내리. 사냥감 포착 완료. 이동할 시간이다. 1번 카드 내가 처리하지.
뭔가
1번
한번 날 뛰어볼.
무슨 일인가?
내 손 하는 소리라고. 아니 엄마는 이것보다 방구 소리가 더 커. 어떻게 했어? 방금 이거 내 수락하자 얘기하니까. 아니 얘 호텔 그만두고 어디 나간다며. 어이가 없다. 나온 것 같은데? 원래 보통 막 연단이거나 그 예능이 뭐 좀 많다 보지? 뭐? 오늘 우리 그 전기 그거 어딨어? 아니 뭐야 지금 아니 나보다 뭐하구만. 와 엄마 우리 프리미엄 아이디 이거가 이거 누굴 때가 잘 바꿨다. 잘 바꿨어. 그렇구만.
이런 오피스 오래돼서 그냥 받아버리려고 좀 편심하다. 그지?
엄마 내가 도와줄래.
네. 예.
그렇지. 그럴까? 엄마 내가 도와줄게 방구야. 엄마 우리 다음에 현대백화점 가면은 내가 그거 식사랑 사줄게. 밥이랑 그런 거 사줄게.
Plus Q. Next one is that
But those are hard-coded, right? The modifiers are hard-coded. And they were always there. So you don't change the modifier, you change the key still. Here, what I realized in this inventory thing For some people, mouse buttons are working. For some people, mouse buttons aren't working. For me, mouse 4, which is my thumb button, the lower thumb button, that works perfectly. Mouse 5, which is the one behind it, it's still a thumb button, but whatever. It's not working. So some extra mouse buttons work and some don't. Weird.
Work, it's only A. You know, it's not a big thing, things like this menu commands. To end game menu, you have Alt plus Q. Next one is that
Yeah. As he says, you can see that they've already got the base default alt there. However, that does not look like you can edit that alt. So that's just to let you know that's what it is, rather than give you the flexibility to do it. So whether they actually go that far, we don't know. Eljas Dahl says tech train time should show in the tooltip as well. That would be super useful for custom maps. You mean when you hover over a building, say
Yes.
for example a farm, and in the tooltip it might say 90S
Yes.
or something at the top right,
Yes.
as well as like how much it costs.
Yes.
to indicate the time it takes to build it. That would be very helpful for tower defenses where it takes 2 minutes to build a tower for some reason.
And in general, I think all the tooltips are ancient and should be replaced. Every single one for the main game. Clear it up and display seconds as you say. If it's a melee or if it's a ranged unit, what the role of the unit is.
some players can't change hotkeys to mouse buttons when they try to do it in-game. Because we can change hotkeys, of course, when you have Warcraft3 open, but what was the very new quality of life feature of the last patch is that basically, last quality of life patch, that you can basically just start the game and tinker with the hotkeys. So what I did, I'm just in the normal game, a testing game, and let's say I want...
What I thought about, by the way, instead of having this select hero thing, right? It would be way better if we could just assign it as if the hero is a control group. So you press Control F1 and it's the F1 hero. You press Control F2 and it's the F2 hero. At the moment, like the obvious example for this is always you play Undead, you go DK, and usually you would go Lich second, right? So, especially for Coil Nova, it's so burnt into your brain, you go F1, Coil click, F2, Nova click. But when you play like Dark Ranger second, the Lich is third, right? So you have to reprogram your brain to a degree. But it would be so much like at the moment when you play this setup with Dark Ranger second and you want to go Lich third, you then have to go into options, hotkey, and switch second hero and third hero. Why can't we assign second and third hero? That'd be so much easier. Click on the Lich, press Control F2, click on the Dark Ranger, press Control F3. Boom. Like it, treat it as a control group.
Just start the game and tinker with the hotkeys. So what I did, I'm just in the normal game, a testing game, and let's say I want to change my peasant hotkey to mouse button 4. Click in the menu, I click in the options, I go to the hotkeys, human, peasant, I click mouse 4, and it doesn't work. I can't put it.
Yeah.
Let's change to A.
That's jank.
I click to like a normal hotkey, not mouse button. It doesn't listen to the scroll hotkey, so this is lost. And I don't know if it's physically possible, but yes, definitely some players may be surprised by this, because in order to change this, you need to have like the map closed. So I don't know if it's like technology missions or it's just impossible. Now we are going to talk about like many added like hard-coded things that you can change the hotkey to. For example, enable, disable formation movement, even change the control groups and stuff like that. So maybe let's quickly look at them. We have menu commands. We can change Alt QQ. If somebody has a habit of clicking Alt QQ to exit the game, we can like change the hotkey to something unusable without like third-party tools and so on. We can edit group command, you know, to make control plus hotkey to make group control 1, of course, even 0 is a control group. We have game command if somebody doesn't like to click tab, you know, to change the subgroup and to...
I do that a lot.
We have so many options, and this is amazing, and I love to see it, and I tested them all, and there are small, very small problems, not significant, to be honest, but I want to mention them anyway. So it's going to be basically the same theme, that for some particular things, you can't assign mouse buttons because they don't work. The other characters work, like period, dot, tilde, backspace, it works, but mouse button, they don't. So you may say, Saul, maybe the game is not going to just allow you to put the mouse button in the control group like field. Let's see. It allowed me. It allowed me, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you that when I do it in game, you can make a control plus mouse for control group as control group 1, because it just doesn't work. Do not test everything. The link to the document is in the video description. You can read every single problem. But yes, in some combinations or in some row hotkeys, the mouse button they don't work. They work only in this menu selection. And so the example that you can actually hear, so toggle sound. So let's make it control plus mouse 4. I save it, and I use control plus mouse 4. You can still hear the game music.
True.
The game sound, I mean.
True.
Now I change it back to S. I click save. I use Ctrl S.
Yeah, something's wrong about being in the menu and being in the game.
And now it's silent. It is many more. And is it very important? Not really, but that's what I have found. So there are some problems with that. And now things about.
No surprises that it doesn't all completely work correctly. But I mean, the foundation is there now, so just build upon it.
Serving the game. So I think it's an unintended change that basically mouse drag doesn't work. And what does it mean? You press your scroll wheel to observe the game smoothly. It's basically better than.
Witty didn't put it on 1080p. Yeah, it's so blurry.
Move your camera via arrows or via like edge scrolling. It was smooth, and that's, for example, back to Warcraft customs like to do. But now it's impossible, so maybe it's just unintended.
Yeah, that would be something they can fix pretty quickly. There's no way that's intended. I think I noticed something like that. Yes, I did actually when I tested it the other day. In the game, I couldn't I was trying to move my version of the screen that you would see more smoothly to the top right, but I tried to drag with the middle mouse button and pull the mouse, but it wouldn't work.
If they don't fix that, observability for esports games becomes a million times worse here on the channel.
And also the replace hotkey, there are some replace hotkey about how to you set a hotkey for like removing fog of war and toggling fog of war and toggling camera movement, and they are only working in advanced observer mode, not in the normal mode. So that's an issue that I have found. But yes, the most important from the all that you can't hold the scroll button on the mouse and then like smoothly go through the map. So this is the noise. Okay, but don't worry. This part brought us the conflict indicator, which I love, and maybe let's be shortly. I will show you what it is. So you have this bar on the bottom left here, key conflict. What does it mean? For example, I'm a new Warcraft 3 player and like, oh, I like to have my holy light on A. You know what? I want to have my attack on A as well. I click save, and the game tells me, so there is something very, 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 very wrong here. Click on the key conflicts. Look how many problems you have.
Oh
For example,
my
look
god.
at this. When you want to attack with your Tree of Ages and you want to eat the tree ability, they send the same hotkey because you like to have your abilities on A. So why to change attack to A or whatever like that if the game instantly tells me that something is wrong? And
But the logic is completely messed up, right? The logic is completely messed up on the conflicts, now that I notice it. It should only be a conflict if it's on the same command card. It shouldn't be a conflict if Coil and Nova is both on A. It should only be a conflict if Coil and Attack is on A.
it's like a
right?
mini game. Now I change it back to J, and now my key conflicts like tab is very short. And
does he? He doesn't actually have it on J though, does he? His attack move.
No,
If
no,
he
no.
does, he's a madman.
Witty, he has a very special mouse setup. Mortals like us don't understand. But yeah, I feel like there's a logical issue. And that is once again something that you figure out with the first thing you do in a test. And I don't understand why simple things are even on the first version of a PTR.
by the way, what I love about this is like kind of you can search for abilities, right? So for example, I can wonder, okay, what kind of abilities I have on S, right?
One example would be, yeah, we are aware of the problem, but we couldn't ship it in time for the PTR, so we have a solution already, and that will come in with version 1.
And I can just make a like global conflict. like stop on S, and it like shows me like every abilities I have on S. For example, it shows me that in Farsight Soul you have in Farsi you have Farsight ability on S as well, right? So this is cool. But I have found a problem with it. So for example, key conflict is connected with general tab, right? So for example, let's say I want to make a control group 1 as A, I click it and the game screams on me because I have Archmage selected. I want to make a control group with clicking A, but also Archmage has Blizzard ability on A, right? So this is not great. But it doesn't check, it's not connected to the inventory, and I think that select hero, right? So for example, let's say I want to be able to use the default TP slot with A, and now the game doesn't scream on me, and there's a problem. For example, I click Undead, I have my Death Knight, and look at this, I throw coils with using A, and because my inventory also wants to get a hotkey, the game doesn't know, should I TP or should I use the coil, right? And the key conflict tool is screaming on me, and it should.
Nice find.
And one very specific for me collision, so now it's showing me a collision that doesn't exist. So, back to work abilities, basically when you have peasant in militia form, and the peasant wants to go back, the militia wants to go back to work. So look at this, when we click on human, peasant, you have only call to arms ability, right? So there is no back to work ability on the peasant, but when you click on militia, you can't pull militia as militia, you can just only make militia to go back to work, right? And I have this on S hotkey. And look at this. When I give peasant S hotkey on any field, for example on repair, the game screams on me. And it says that back to work, and it says that repair human and back to work.
Yeah.
Conflict, ladies and gentlemen, because you
But
know,
militias can't repair.
Maybe even we have a hotline to Blizzard here. I would like to use this time to really show you, quickly show you what are the old problems with the hotkeys in general. There are basically mistakes there. Let's start with MGs. This is the PTR, right? We click on the MGs, and as you can see, they have two abilities. Hardened skin and resistance skin, and there are passive abilities. We should not be able to put the hotkeys here. But you know what is funny? They create conflict. So for example, if I want to have pound on E, the game is going to scream on me that I have this resistance skin passive ability. It's not an upgrade. I have upgrade on I and O, just to show you that this is something different. It is key.
Is it because in the map maker it's got E as the upgrade, but it's not an active? Maybe that's how it's designed in the editor. I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem like some of this stuff is breaking for no actual real good reason, so it's kind of bizarre code.
And most of the passives don't have that. I think it's only Mountain Giant. Like for example, a Dryad Poison Slow doesn't have that. So I think you have to add an exception for like Mountain Giants or something.
K and E. So yes, those two abilities should be just
no logical reason.
Passive. Also in buildings in the Night Elves, there is no Entangled Gold Mine, and you may say make Entangled Gold Mine, but the building is missing. Why it's important? Because as you can see, Entangled Gold Mine has a special ability called Unload All, and also Load Wisp. And yes, it's not like with the Zeppelin, right? Load Wisp. So yes, I think we should add Entangled Gold Mine to the menu so you can edit them, because you cycle Wisps quite often when you play defensively. And now my
nobody wants Night Elves.
The marketplace. Ladies and gentlemen, when you click on the marketplace and when I see what is there, it's a complete mess. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Ring of Archmage.
This is all the stuff that could be there.
We have some items that I don't even know what they do. We have minor replenishment potion when it's like not longer in any drop table. And we have a mess here. And what's the problem? So in marketplace, in the live server, and there is no hotkeys, right? So
I mean, this is definitely like the most minor of problems, because if you are at the level where you go to a marketplace and you press a hotkey for a specific item, if it's even there in the first place, you are like within the top 0.2% of players, most likely.
That's right.
Let's face it.
All of those items.
Still, why though?
They don't have hotkeys when you like mouse over on them. For example, it's a little bit different with them with the range shots, right? Here, the items have hotkeys, right? And it's very cool because there is no dead man of them. But let me tell you, if you would like to put a hotkey to every single item, like every single ring, you run out of the alphabet, and it's madness. So it can be very confusing for the new players.
Run out of the alphabet.
A hotkey for Potion of Divinity, like here. So yes, I would just remove it, all of the items from here, because like it doesn't make any sense. And what I would do basically, I would
Wee, Fox Metopelix, thank you. New alerts. Displays how long the person is subbing already. Ain't that lovely?
either leave it alone or force grid to the marketplace. Yes, grid, because in marketplace you never know which item is where, and just put a grid hotkey to the fields in the market. So yes, the force grid is the best, and thank God that it's not giving us the key conflicts what is happening in the marketplace because it's a mess. Okay, as you can see, you may say Soul, we have Black Dragon Roost, Blue Dragon Roost, and those other dragons. So yes, there are also Nether Dragons. I'm a big fan of Nether Dragons. They look amazing, so we are missing them. And it's a general idea about design, right? Do you want to add a lot of monsters here or any limited monsters? For example, what if I tell you that you can like make a Banshee and you can possess a Troll Trapper or Murloc Huntsman, so those like level 2, level 3 mercs, they have ensnare, you can do it in any 1v1 game when you play Undead, and they are missing. So in my opinion, you should basically add all the melee monsters with special abilities, right? I would definitely do it, because as you can see, if somebody's crazy to like...
I'm actually a little surprised they're not all added, since some of that other stuff is just piled in there, which actually isn't used. But like he says, yeah, there are...
And especially with the hype of all the randoms, they should all.
Mercenaries that, or not necessarily even mercenaries, just neutrals that you can control through possession or charm. And then, yeah, you'd want to be able to change the hotkey. Theoretically, if you want to min-max, yes, you would want to do that.
Yep.
To do it in 1v1 or somebody likes to play all the random, basically I would just add more monsters here. It's not the problem, it's not going to be the mess as in the marketplace. Last but not least, when we click on the tavern, there is a hotkey called select unit. It looks like a question mark. I tested it in game and it doesn't exist. We don't know what it is. And
you know, looking at that, I still think it would be so good if they had a random button. Wouldn't that be great? A random button for the tavern as well as your altar. So I play random out of the races, and then maybe I might even feel like I don't even want to choose what hero I get. Just surprise me. And you just press that button and boom, it just instantly gives you a hero out of any of them.
Is it created?
And even better, which is super unlikely it would ever get happening, but if they had a special hero that could only be selected through the random, and there's like a 5 or 10% chance that you can get this hero, and it's just like a different hero entirely.
Creating a conflict, let's see. So this is not creating a conflict, right?
Imagine that.
Use the same hotkey as Naga. So, but it gave me, so it's like kind of a dead field, but it gave me this idea to basically add a random hero option from the tavern. Of course, not random.
Great minds think alike.
One of the 8 heroes, and that was like my idea that was trying to like present in the last quality of life feature. Some people just, you know, some tavern hero players, they, you know, can't make their mind which hero to make, so definitely a random battle would be cool. And it would be actually interesting to like make a mechanic that if you spawn a random hero from the tavern, it gets a cool skin, right? We saw that Blizzard wants to put some attention to the skins, like ghostly string or whatever, skills or whatever, or some gold skin, and you can get it only by going for a hero from the tavern.
Yeah.
And who knows, later maybe you can
that
make,
would
like,
be fun.
Okay, those skins are so cool, some people want to play it, but without the random option, so maybe you can purchase them. Yes, Soul Businessman strikes here. Okay, so the hotkey subject is over. Now let's go to the multiplayer, because yes, the ranking system on bnet exists, and it's quite active, to be honest, especially for the new players. So when we go to the ranking system, as we can see, we have so far 2 players. It's not that easy to play on bnet when stopping the farm production can break the game. But yes, in general, there are not that many players. But what is cool, yes, when we view profile now, we can check the MMR, and that work. For example, this particular player, Brett, has 3,823 MMR. In the past, you couldn't check the MMR of the player without like playing versus him. But in my opinion, we should add a column with just an MMR value. Now we can MMR like range indicator with this rank. But also, I would like to bring attention of everybody to some hackers, because some hackers are popular on bnet.
And yeah, there's definitely enough space for that, isn't it? Like, look at how much space there is. Jesus.
Let me show you. Let's go to the live server. So we're on the live server. We go to the multiplayer, to the leaderboard.
I want to point out again that this UI is not good at all. But that's an old battle that I kind of lost.
There's no way people would hack. Do you remember the old school leaderboards? People had like thousands and then like no losses. Although, ironically, Happy has actually proved that is possible to do. So we actually have someone that can actually achieve that.
Yep.
So then you do have to be somewhat skeptical that they aren't 100% a hacker if you see someone with like a ridiculous score or like 1,000 wins and no losses. But there's only one Happy. There's like 5 of these accounts at least.
Starbuck went 100-0 on w3c Champions.
In this season, there is no problem, because I heard that there's other...
And no, I don't think it was Happy doing it 5 times on the ladder. I don't think that, in case you was going to say that.
That is small ban wave, but when we click on the previous season, the guy that got banned, Mr. Yaun, infamous Yaun, who got 2,464 wins and 24 losses, with apparently drop hacking or something like that, is basically was basically banned from the season that happens now. But I would ask Blizzard to put some attention, you know, to like remove him from the previous season, maybe just ban him. When I go to his profile still exists. I have a little bit of a zero tolerance policy to hackers to check how he's doing this. You know, you can go for details of this game. So for example, as you can see, Yaun is not producing any units. Maybe he's just disk hacking. I don't know.
That's pretty impressive to win a game with nothing.
What he's doing, but yes, the data is here.
Yeah, I think there's a problem. Like if you delete his track record, right, then the wins and losses of other people change as well, and that might screw with the ranking. But then just hide them.
And look for some other players like that, you know, where they have like 2 good stats, just search their game history. Of course, don't ban anything innocent. Okay, so who has the crazy stats in the previous season? Let's see.
Also, there's 0% chance Blizzard's going to put any effort into actually
Yes.
controlling people's behavior in this game.
Okay, this Korean guy,
But
let's check him.
shout out that they actually banned that guy.
And it's the same thing, right? When I go to his match history in the games that he's winning, he's not producing any heroes and he's still winning, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, he is a very suspicious player, and it took me like literally 10 seconds to identify him. So let's spend 30 minutes.
The problem is not really that they're still there. The big problem is that they were able to do this for 2,500 games. 2,500 games. Like, it's not that much of an effort to check the ranking every week before you go to before you clock out and enjoy the weekend, right? Just take a look.
He's still winning, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, he is a very suspicious player, and it took me like literally 10 seconds to identify him. So let's spend 30 minutes.
So he likes World of Warcraft actually, so he'll definitely know from World of Warcraft how little Blizzard pay attention or care to pay attention to hackers. The players themselves can see these people cheating, going in and out of instances. They're clearly bots, clearly people cheating, but they never get dealt with. They're there day and day, doing the same thing over and over. And like he says, it'll take 10 seconds, maybe a minute or whatever, just to pay attention to these things and sort of root them out. But it's not. Blizzard for some reason don't seem to do it.
And even better than banning these people is fix the drop hack.
The guys, if you know how they would do it, I don't know myself. Check for those parameters and ban.
Yeah, as I said, to me, wrong approach. Don't ban, go for the hack, fix the hack.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about, you know, the balance, important stuff, because the quality of life features are already covered, you know, to the best of my ability. But what is the most important change in this patch? You know, there's a few important patches, but some of the units, they have area of effect abilities. Now they can target wards. And what kind of wards are popular in Warcraft 3? Of course, from the Witch Doctors. Look, I'm going to make huge amount of the sense reward and so on. And look at this. When
That's
I
funny
attack
to
them
see.
with AoE damage, or like
Splashing the
glaive
wards.
throwers, they're all getting damage. You may say, okay, glaive throwers versus this is important. Now, even hands
really like
have
that.
abilities, so because they have also area of effect. Look at this. The hands can attack the wards as well, and it's the same with the Pitlock Cliff.
Yeah.
I wonder if they attack on the attack move.
You may say, okay, so but how
Probably.
often do you see Witch Doctors? But you know what? There are some other wards in Warcraft 3, and they're actually important in Nidal versus Orc. Orc usually goes for Shadow Hunter as a second hero. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Nidals, they like to play
Drive.
Hunts versus Orcs this day. And look, we made some nice snake pit. We are putting one unit as a control group. We are moving the rest. And look at this, the Hunts. The Hunt can attack wards. And the multiple wards are getting damaged, so it's a buff. It's a big buff to basically...
Yeah. So I really like that for the siege units. I really don't like it for the hunts. It makes a super easy strategy even easier. Maybe it should just be the siege units. Maybe it shouldn't be hunts. I can't see the point of the pit lord doing that. But hunts are so simple already. I think it should just delete this attribute from hunts and glaives. It shouldn't work on hunts.
Basically mass hunt strategy versus certain wards. Of course, it didn't kill them all because there is a lot of wards, but also a Pit Lord as a second hero for the Night Elf versus like with to protect Dryad. Look at this Cliff. Cliff wards versus Serpent wards now.
Yeah, I think against the hero you can make the point that you have to spread them more. Hunts, you have so many of them, like 6, 7, 8, 9, and on a click they will just get rid of all the wards. And a Pit Lord is just a single hero, right? So that's fine, especially it fits the cleave. And also for siege units, you have like 1 or 2, you still have to aim. But Hunts is just brainless A-click.
Crazy. I don't know if it was intended or not. I'm just reporting that that's the result. So yes, the orc changes are also that Taurens can attack the ward, which is amazing in the orc mirror. I guess it's kind of cool. And that
I think it's okay for Tauren as well.
Damage towards not only the siege damage, but also this burning oil damage. So that
does disease cloud as well? I wonder if that happens.
I think wards are mechanical, not affected by disease cloud. But for Tauren, I think it's cool as well. Maybe in team games, but Tauren are a big tier 3 unit and expensive. It's okay for me. But Hunts are brain dead.
As intended, I guess. I tested. So for the undead, the Lich Nova was increased a little bit, and the values are correct. But what is actually funny, and maybe let's stop here for a moment, that the Death Knight reanimated that ability was changed, was buffed, but it was buffed incorrectly and it's not that strong. So basically, it says that now the unit are going to resurrect with your animated death. They will have their abilities that they had while dying, right? So we have a Shaman with Bloodlust on Master, Witch Doctor on Master, Raider with Ensnare, that's what Raider can offer, Codobis with Aura and improved Aura and with Devour, we have Peon that can build, and I put a unit with 2 passive abilities, right? So this amazing Makura. And look at this, my assistant Farsi is going to prepare the corpses, let's say, and Death Knight is already on level 6, let's not waste any time, and I'm animating them, and look at this, they have only basic abilities.
Wow, because it's not researched.
And why it works like that, and by the way, the auras, they don't work, so there is no aura on the Kodo. The default ability Devour works. And what is interesting and people are hyped about is that you can actually build with the Peon. So this is funny, and you know this timer of animated death is paused in the burrow when Peon is building. So this is pretty cool. But yes, you don't get the abilities, and the passives are disappearing, and it should be like with the Banshees, right? So when you have Banshees and you are possessed,
disease cloud is something they added, I think, a while back, where if you use animate dead, then the corpses have disease cloud. Yeah. Although again, that's kind of clunky in a way. It probably only affects a few units, but it's something that sits in the command card, and if it's something like a Peon that can build a whole bunch of things or has other commands, or a unit that has a full amount of spells, perhaps the disease cloud actually interferes and denies you from being able to use one of those spells because it sits in front of that spell, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, good point. I think you should get the upgrades, like with the Banshee, as Soul points out. Then it's really cool.
The master ability should stay because it kind of makes sense. Look at this, I possess this druid of the cloud that was on master, and he's still on master, even though, you know me, the player number 1, I don't own this ability. Yeah. So basically it should be a change.
Does the Peon stop building when it expires? I think it's actually paused. As soon as it starts building, I think it pauses the duration of the summon.
This ultimate is not that great, and it's not that often when you see Death Knight level 6, but you see from time to time in melee, so definitely would be very exciting to just grant the abilities for the time of animated death. Yep. And with the power of the Twitch chat...
Oh, he cut it off just before it was about to finish building.
I also discovered that you can actually do something interesting with archers. So I'm preparing archers, right? I'm going to animate them. You may say, so archers, you know, they don't have auras, they don't have anything interesting. Really, they have Mount Hippogriff ability that was actually buffed. Huh. And when you own as undead 6 Hippogriff yourself, you can make Hippogriffs, right? Everybody say, okay.
Who's going to have 6 spare Hippogriffs as an undead player? Yeah. I mean, it's possible. You'd have to get a Wisp first, then build the Hippos, and then convert the archers, but yeah. He gets them for free now. They're now permanent units because he's converted them into units.
That's so
So
cool.
the archers are going to expire. Not really. Look at this.
He brought him back from the
And
dead.
now I'm the owner of 6 Frankenstein archers. And I wouldn't change this. It's not breaking the game. Neither Undead will never have 6 hippogriffs, and it's not working to go for this like in
That's
60-minute
funny.
game, FFA game or something. It's just a fun interaction. And who knows, maybe in all the random mode, when you have a random hero with a particular race, so if you get Death Knight as Nidals, you can actually go for it.
You know what? Going out on a limb here, leaning out the window a little bit. This is so unusual, and this is so hard to get. Level 6 DK and a different race. Let it be in the game. Let it be in the game.
Because then you have access to your hypogriffs. But yes, definitely, I would keep it at that. It's funny, but yes, in my opinion, it's not intended like that. Okay, now I'd like to talk about the Dark Ranger. So Dark Ranger got buff, so life drain ability costs less mana. This is true. But also there is a sentence.
25 mana for life drain. It's insane.
The Dark Ranger drain life set damage type change to magic to universal. This will allow life drain to continue to transfer while the caster is magic immune. Okay, so look like this. I have Abomination missing HP, right? I'm going to pop the invul, so my caster is like immortal. And even though I want to give HP to the Abomination because I have invul on me, it's not giving HP because the HP of the Dark Ranger is not.
I thought it was still going to give HP, but it wasn't going to take it from you because you're involved. But yeah, that kind of destroys the point of actually trying to transfer.
Changing, right? And okay, we can also recreate this with anti-magic shell. So look at this. I put anti-magic shell, and we are giving HP to the Abomination. And anti-magic shell now, ladies and gentlemen, it protects me from the opponent. So probably that's the change, right? So it protects me from the opponent, but this anti-magic shell doesn't. It's a universal.
Worst trade ever.
Transfusion, right? So because it's a universal transfusion, it's not going to protect me, and actually Dark Ranger can die. So be careful. So in general, as we can see, it's not too broken, right? But I like that mana cost was decreased, and maybe it's a good first step to test. It's going to be oppressive because, you know, if it doesn't work, the next step is maybe actually to make it to work with the benches, right? That you can give HP from your anti-magic shell. But for now, it's probably too early for that. But yes, that's the Dark Ranger change. Now the change that people are very excited about, so the Panda change. So basically, Breath of Fire should be like with the like as the animation shows.
That's so small.
Right?
So crazy to
I'm so
see.
used to Breath of Fire just reaching so far. Such a god tier hero. I guess they.
So, Breath of Fire was severely broken. I like that the damage is only where the animation is. That's how it should be. But oh, that panda is not gonna be good, boys.
Nerfed him quite hard now.
It has good sides and the back sides. I just checked that all of the numbers are okay. My opinion, I don't know if we should move the Panda. Panda is not good as the first hero. Panda is good as a second hero, creeping hero. I don't know if the air laming wouldn't be better, you know, like an undead laming the Nidals, because Panda is good at chasing air units. And if you can't reach them that good, right, with the short Breath of Fire, the air laming can increase. So I don't know if we liked it.
The animation on it is quite jank as well. If you have a look, a lot of it sort of comes from behind his actual character.
Really?
So if you go here to when he casts Breath of Fire, I don't think that affects a unit if it's standing behind him to actually get hit by the Breath of Fire. There it is.
Bro, he
Breath of Fire
farted!
actually spawns from behind the hero.
It's not a breath of fire, boys. It's a fart of fire. Like back when we were young and we were igniting our farts. Everyone did that, come on. That's what the panda does as well. I never knew.
I don't think if you were here, you're going to get hit by it. I just think that's an animation thing, but it looks even smaller now.
Short Breath of Fire, the air laning can increase, so I don't know if we like this, but I don't have strong opinions here. And yes, the numbers are looking okay. You need to get with your Panda much closer, you know, to deal a lot of damage. So this is a buff and a nerf, so it's like a buff in straight up fights, and it's a nerf if you want to chase your army or lame your opponent from a distance. From the creep changes, Shadow to Blizzard for
Maybe it would be cool, and I don't even know if that works, but maybe it would be cool if you apply Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire, and the Drunken Haze AoE is bigger than the Breath of Fire, right? So, if Drunken Haze is applied, it should still get hit by the burn, just like that fire is spreading in a way. So the combo is worth more. I think I'd like that, like a little skill shot kind of thing.
Removing vampiric aura from skeletal orc. I wanted to record a TikTok about this, but I forgot. Yes, this guy had vampiric aura and had death coil without having mana pool. So nice that they noticed this. And now actually an important thing. So maybe you remember there was this tinker bug with the Ring of Regent and with the Hearthstone. It's fixed. I tested it on the PTR. But
Shame.
also said, orb effects will now properly proc when units auto-acquire target. What does it mean? Let me show you. I have 4 enemy ghouls. I have Archmage with Orb of Slow. And if I right-click the ghoul, so I attack him because he's an enemy ghoul, the Orb of Slow will work. But if I only auto-acquire target, what does it mean? So I mark my Archmage just stands here AFK. I go with the ghouls, right? So I'm not telling my Archmage to attack. He sees the ghouls and he's attacking himself. The orb is not going to proc. You may say, so be patient because Orb of Slow is just
Wait,
slow.
still not?
The proc chance is not that big, but let me tell you. It's definitely not like this. I tested it many times, so it's going to kill all of the ghouls without proccing the orb. And look at this.
Is this just the human orb again?
There is now.
No, it's every orb.
The second hit and already the effect
Orb of
is
lightning
there.
as well.
So I think they didn't change that, right? Because this is how I
No!
That's very specific and niche, but definitely a big problem.
It's
because
huge!
You don't want that. Like, you're controlling a lot of things, so if someone else auto-acquires into your hero, his attacks are never going to proc the orb. That could be, like, devastating for you.
So, yeah, I kind of pointed that out, and I got laughed at YouTube comments because I added the asterisk of like, if it's working. And yeah, they put it in the patch notes, they say it's fixed, and then it's not fixed. So either they didn't address the problem, or they forgot to put it in. Huh. That is disappointing and very good that somebody is testing it. And it's also then again bad QA. Like if they ship it and didn't test it. Oops.
So that definitely needs to get sorted.
Acquired target on the ghouls and it didn't work. Speaking about this, I would like to present you something that is actually maybe related with this. So I just want to show you that we have MK with Stormbolt and Bash. Perfect. This is an enemy spellbreaker and my MK is attacking him. I give him the command, so look at this. Bash is proccing even though Breaker is spell immune. And
oh, by the way, when I say that things weren't tested properly, I don't mean to be disrespectful to the team that is working on this game right now. But Microsoft hires some QA people that know what they're doing. Or pay someone like Soul to do it for you before it gets out. Because the team is probably super mega overworked already. And when something is shipping, I mean, you can't test everything. They probably internally addressed the $1,000 already. But then contract someone like Soul 8man or, I don't know, me, whatever. I think Soul is better equipped than I am to do stuff like this. Pay them a couple of $100. There you go.
I'm pretty sure Bash can work on anything though.
This the orb will proc as well. I hope. Yes, we have this. We have orb effect.
It can proc through the orb can proc through the Bash, right? I think that's what he's saying. I don't think he can work otherwise.
And we can have Bash effect as well, right? Even at the same time. Let me wait for it a little bit. Oh, now it's 2 effects, slow and Bash. Even though he's spell immune. And let me check on the normal unit. So this enemy Gryphon, my MK is attacking. So look, he's applying slow and it's applying Bash at the same time. So we can. It's definitely like with the Spellbreaker. Oh, you have 2 effects. But let me tell you, it doesn't work on destroyers. And the only matchup where you can actually use orb on the MK is versus Undead to chase destroyers. And for some reason, it doesn't apply Bash to destroyers. Even though, ladies and gentlemen, you know that it should apply Bash because it's the same as with Stealthbreaker. I spent a lot of time testing it. I put Bash chance to 100% and it still doesn't work. It applies the slow, but it won't apply Bash. So this is my way of reporting this orb-related bug. So that is like...
More undead imbalance, eh?
It took me 8 hours, probably 10 hours in total to record and edit this video, so please make sure to like the video. This
Plus all the
is on the
testing.
first iteration of the PTR. When we have another iteration, I will record another video with maybe more tests. I love the changes and I like that Blizzard is working on it, but of course, quality control Soul Ape-Man, yes, this is a game-changing bug with this infinite time or zero time of building. So yes, make sure to check that. And I'm very curious what you as a community think about this. Let me know in the comment. I hope that we will get some traction here, because there is a lot of ideas here. Maybe Blizzard will actually watch this video, or maybe they will listen to the opinion of bigger content creator than me that the bigger content creator got because of this video. And yes, let's all work together on making Warcraft 3 better. It was Soul Ape-Man with my PTR bug hunting video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Very, very, very
Wow,
well done.
Very good video there. He really went through that. I'll give a link.
Very, very, very well done. Yes, if you want to reward the Ape-Man, please give it a like and comment. These videos need reach, and the best way to create reach is by interacting with the video. I did that pretty much immediately. Hopefully you can do that too. Thank you Simon B for the sub, Lodarius, Fuchs mit Doppel-X, Green Devil, and Ogol. And I realized something's off with the 4-year alert. I think the patch is really good, and it addresses a lot of things that I did not think would be possible. So that's cool. That is really cool. Check this again. Still not the 4-year one. Why is it not the 4-year one? Oh, it's the wrong alert. Wait. Here we go. Save. There we go. That's the proper one. Okay. The little bug fix here on the alerts. Games, everybody. We are in B Cup, and B Cup is probably running already. Let me check this out. I wanted to get this out of the way because it is important, and I didn't put too much work in it this time. So Soul. Much love to him. Okay, Cow versus War 3 Orc Hero. Wait, they have a message here on the BBC broadcast. What does that say? Moon will be a guest on the broadcast from July 1st to 3rd. Oh, that's crazy. How do they communicate, I wonder? So, I am pretty sure they're playing on KK, right? Then we have connection for the overlay to work. Might be under protection. Yes. Okay, B Cup, everybody. Esports. We started into this B Cup quite some time ago. Then there was a break due to WSB. So it's an $8,300 tournament. Everybody knows B Cup. It is the longest running, reoccurring monthly competition. And it's pretty packed in the playoffs already. Moon, Ice Orc, Happy still has to play his matches. Is that tomorrow? That is the day after tomorrow, so on Monday. Colorful Soin with TH unfortunately out. Our group here today with Cow, Orc Hero, Lawlight, and Francis making his very, very, very first B Cup appearance. Life and Dice going through, Lin and Sock going through, 1-0 and Focus going through, and then a banger group tomorrow with Bucky, Neutron, Infi, and Hawk. Definitely looking forward to covering this. So, this is our schedule for today. Cow was already 1-0 up. We were a little late to the party there. And I'll try to jump into the next game, which will be up in, come on, 30 seconds. And then we get some Warcraft action. We got Night Elves and Orcs today. On this beautiful, beautiful day. Nice that you're spending that day with me. Rick McD!
B2W Heart.
Rick McD Hart. Also with the 4 years, man. That is. So many with the 4 years, 3 years. It's amazing. And it's also amazing that we can keep track of that now without having to divide by 12 all the time. So, this is the first game I observe on KK in a long time. Hopefully everything is working. By the way, Mr. Sharky, I spent some time to work on my microphone, so whenever I pull it, I hope there's no ear-ripping sound anymore. I apologize for that in the past. Stuff you can do, huh? When you have a little bit of time. So, we got our game. It's 1-0 for Kaho already. He's of course the big favorite. He's one of the best gamers in the world. He is currently the best night elf in the world. And he's up against w3c Orkiro, like a somewhat rising player in China. Still not on a level of, let's say, a Soin. But still, not bad. Is he on the level of Kaho? Absolutely not. That's the quality I sub for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am trying. So, I don't have my overlay since we're here on KK. Or did they fix that, maybe? It would be fun. No. Okay, so... Orkiro, what can you do, my man? Right hand side, Lincoln Nummer 1. Thank you for the 8 month.
Hi.
Hi. So we got Blade Master, we got Demon Hunter. That didn't change, right? That all didn't change. It is still mind-blowing to me that Blizzard is doing balance changes and is not addressing Demon Hunter or Rejuvenation or the combo of that. But hey, that's just me. So let's see in what shape Kaho is. I haven't watched any Warcraft in like a week. So if I missed some recent developments, let me know. Demon Hunter starting off well with the claw. Appreciate that. It seems a bit laggy to me, actually. This is the KK server. Yeah. If there's a couple of spikes, sorry about that. That's not on me. That's the beautiful service of the KK server. So, Orkiro, what's his best chance? I think in a straight up fight, due to how good Kaho is mechanically, he's always going to lose. So I would love to see some sneaky plays, some outside the box plays, some unusual plays. Unfortunately, rising players in Asia are rarely of that caliber. Nice items for both players, actually. Of course, this is just the warm-up for the big boys playing, that is Lawlight and Francis. Man, my heart will be torn when I see these guys. So, tech running as always. Orc versus Night Elf is by far the slowest matchup of them all. Strong first heroes, you can't really overwhelm them. Good coverage. Few units both like to tech super fast. Archers don't want to be too close to grunts. Grunts don't want to be too close to a demon hunter to lose the HP. It is understandable. Kaho now taking the trade as he has the level lead and is satisfied with his inventory. With more damage and more HP, you can easily do that. But yeah, I mean, you could fast forward 5 minutes and you wouldn't miss a thing. Then we unfold tech. It's really interesting. This is pretty much the only matchup that behaves this way. I think that's due to Demon Hunter and Blade Master strength early on. But Orkuro feels brave. And both heroes have to retreat, apply some salves, drink from the moon wells, and then they'll be fine again. Lolite Friends, absolute banger. Hell yeah, dude. I've been waiting for this game since I saw that Francis is replacing Elegant, who unfortunately doesn't have time. But then we also would have had 3 Night Elves in one group, and that is not ideal, huh? So, Naga second, no keeper. That's interesting. Little more map control than usual. More unit control as well. Also, by the way, I would like a small nerf to level 1 Frost Arrow. Because I think the Naga is over-present in the meta. And that's only due to Frost Arrow. Oh, damn, double bestiary. He is playing something sneaky. Mass Raiders, then. Yeah. Oh, you clicked that Raider too early, or we have supply free? Oh, we don't. Okay, now we can go into Raider production. Shadowhunter leveling with Heal Wave first. Oh, that's interesting. No Hex. Well, I don't think he'll need Serpent Wards when you have Headhunters already. Okay. Tier 3 on the other side, of course, you want to pimp that Demon Hunter out with Rejuvenation. And then fight with the bears. What a beast this Blade Master is, boys. Hopefully... Well, I wanted to say Francis has as much luck as Orkuro. But then Lolite would suffer. Yeah, that best of 3 is gonna break my heart. For sure, for sure, for sure. So Demon Hunter not level 3 yet. With the Naga, wants to apply some pressure at least. Raiders not good for creeping. Headhunters are though, and Orc heroes in general, both heroes, both sides heroes require some additional XP. And Chaos tech is rather fast, isn't it? Usually we see a mid-game full of Dryads, but if you have a Naga, you probably don't need that. And if you realize that your opponent is going Mass Raiders, Dryads would also be the worst choice. Expo now. Wow. Okay, lane game. Grubby-esque almost, Mr. Orkuro. Not bad. I think he realized fighting doesn't work against Kaho. He's too mechanically gifted. He's too clean in those fights. He's way too good. Oh, did the Blade Master steal something here? Not the item. Forcing a town portal with the ambushing raiders. Well done. Nice timing. Couldn't get Shadowhunter to 3 in time. But he got a big mana potion. He wants to distract from the expo. I don't hate that. I don't hate what Orkuro's doing. No tier 3 just yet, just a Kodo. The Blade Master in for a creep check again. Great tracking. With end snares, getting a Dryad here, most likely. Ancient of War will help, but creeps are still attacking. First bear. Oh my god, these end snares are super disruptive. Pleasant surprise to see Orkuro performing this well. Raiders are all hurt. We have poison spreading pretty much everywhere. Rock Golem is still intact, so no big XP boost. He's killing a Dryad through the rejuvenation, which is almost impossible. But yeah, now you have to make sure to not overcommit. Heal wave is ready. Are we popping the big potion? Yes, we did. Invo potion on the Demon Hunter, slaying headhunters left and right. Not sure if he's committing too much. Gets rid of the shop, no potions. That Demon Hunter has no TP anymore. Did he get a staff? Yes, he did. And now Rejuve. Kinda interesting that he didn't use Rejuve when Invo was on. And brute forcing rejuvenation is kinda crazy. And he gets the crit when he needed it. Oh my god, Orkuro defeats Kaho on map 2. Are you kidding me? Did not expect this to work this well. Really nice. This was on the back of an expo, guys. I don't think this was his full strength yet. What the hell? Just a big attack. The nastiest of all creep jacks. Sick. Not bad. Freaking Orkuro, man, coming in with the bang. Did not expect that when I woke up this morning knowing I would be casting this match. Sick attack. Nice map control as well. Creep check on the left hand side, creep check on the lab. Real good knowledge of the Night Elf movement. And maybe Kao a bit complacent. Maybe Kao a bit complacent. That was crazy. Yeah. Love it. Cool to see the appreciation for Orkuro's performance as well. He deserves it. Well done, well done, well done. 1-1. Freaking Orkuro. I would assume Kao is gonna come back with the vengeance. But taking a map here is already big. So, shout, oh, Miss Noisy doesn't have a hairband today. And she got shorter hair in general. Suits so well. I am missing the hairband though. Love that they just call him Franz. Lawlight versus Franz. But yeah, looks like they're getting into map 3. Now's hairstyle is 100% beautiful. I agree. Alrighty, game starts on the Chinese broadcast. We're as always 3 minutes behind. So, shout out. So you're telling me we'll get a moon, Mr. Magic Yang BBC and Miss Noisy cast? Exactly. The beginning of July. By the way, we got a new short out. And I think this is very well done by Out of Warcraft, who's doing the edits. If you want to get all these shorts into your For You page, go sub. Go back to Warcraft.
What? Look at this difference. That's crazy. This is the new Breath of Fire. That's like half the AoE. The big strength of Breath of Fire is that it's a big AoE that can hit many targets. Now, it's just a short range cone. I read a comment that it's 56% less AoE. It is stupid that the visual effects don't match onto the actual effect of the spell that is actually the case in game. But then you go the other way. You should make our Breath of Fire the range and damage that we're used to. You should make that Breath of Fire visual bigger. Imagine if you do a big Breath of Fire that does lots of damage everywhere, but it's actually a huge Breath of Fire. Then when you use it, it feels like a really cool, impactful spell, as it could be, as it should be. What? Look at this difference. That's crazy.
Nicely edited, Mr. Art. Looking at this, isn't it rather crazy how far Breath of Fire goes isn't like that the problem? I feel like we don't have too much bursty short range AoE. So I'm not sure if I agree with the damage values. Because you cut the range in half, right? Like, or as we said, a little longer. Maybe intensify the damage. But that's gonna be a big buff to Gargoyles, boys. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Night Elf tears. Sweet Night Elf tears. Ah, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. And in a week, I'm gonna dread it, by the way. Because Gargoyle games are boring. But the Night Elf tears will be so juicy. Yeah, sub to be to dub, everybody. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. We still are not making that much progress towards the 100k. Unbelievable. Our nose is itchy. And now our game starts. And yeah, shout out to Out of Warcraft for fixing this. Fixing this? Editing this. Wait. Angeline is playing Labyrinth. That is not the right game. That is not the right game. That's gotta be one-sided. So I gotta go into the Orc Wolf game. Nah. Looking fine. Okay. Big surprise. That KK is not giving me the right window. There we go. Big surprise that Orkiro is able to take a map of a freaking Kaho. And switch and go. This would be funny. If Orkiro eliminates Kaho from the winner bracket. I'd get a good chuckle of that. But let's see. I think chances are rather slim for that to happen. But hey, I'm here for it. The Cookie Monster! We were very nice.
We were very nice.
Exactly. Thank you. Hope you enjoy your new 4-year alert. And thank you guys for pushing us back. See, I'm gone for 5 days. Sub count drops to below 1500. Ay. Nasty times. As I say, June is doom. Thankfully, June is over soon. Below 1500. Ridiculous. Gotta apply to McDonald's soon. So, it's a keeper. Look at that. No more Demon Hunter play, huh? Keeper can of course be very strong still. Oh, that ensnare is unfortunate. Slows down the creeping a little bit, but yeah. Orcs, if they scout with a peon, that peon has to die. It's like a rule of nature, basically. So, on the other side, Madeline MTG, thank you!
Less than 3.
Less than 3 right back. That's so cute. Thank you. So, Keeper Craft, huh? With Huntress, actually. Look at that. Yeah, I really like the evolution of Kaho. from pretty much a one-trick pony to a well-diversified player with great mechanics that he always had. So yeah, eat them Huns, baby. And now I'm curious how he's gonna play that Huns. It's just tier 1, right? Yeah, I mean tier 2. So 1 Ancient of War, not mass Huns, which is fine. And now the keeper got to distract. And keep the blade low. And then are we going into dryads after? Yes, so. So you don't want to give Orc Hero too much opportunity to creep jack throughout the entire game. And it feels like Orc Hero is a little bit lost. There is no entangle. This would be a great opportunity to, I mean, creep jack now. This takes XP away from the Shadow Hunter, so nice. What's he doing with the hunt, I wonder? Not much just yet. Yeah, something that was introduced by Sonic. Nice little ward. Man, I always love this. I will never not love this when Night Elves are using archers as wards. Remind started doing it, Lawlight followed it up. And now every now and then we see it. Zimmerling! Look at that! You got a new gifts up animation! Woo! Gifts up from Zimmerling! Much love, much love, much love. Yeah, we got new alerts, everybody. We got new alerts. Shout out, Zimmerling. And shout out to Shad, who did the alerts. So, once again, Orc Hero with the great timing. Supposed to wall up the base. Didn't work, too fragile of a building. Despite units and heroes changing, it's still a slow matchup so far. That timing looks dangerous. Aiming for the shop first instead of the upcoming buildings. Not sure if that's the right thing to do, but you take away the heal cells. Oh no, the clarity and the speed scroll from the Shadow Hunter if there's no second round of shopping. Alchemist and go! No more shop for you! Beastery and Totem still able to attack him. Double level 1 heroes. Oh, creeping now. Interesting that he allows the tier 2 buildings up. Poison Ivy on Blade down to 50%. We got wards against it. Lures are coming up. No Huntress upgrade at all. By the way, is the sound alright? I boosted it a little bit. And I don't know with these sound effects like wards if it's too loud or not. But yeah, I think there was more possible for Kaho. Plays it rather safe. And only got the shop, really. Only got the shop. Sounds good. Fine. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay, now. Super underleveled Orc Hero. Hunts are providing a better solution to raiders than what he had before. So if you're Orc Hero, you don't want to go into that same strategy anymore. Also, there's Entangle against him. Keeper is so dominant now. What you gonna do? Man. Feels like Kaho is in full control of this game, which is something that a keeper should enable, right? He's so strong early game, same for Hunts, and then both fall off. if the strategy and levels of the orc coming together. But yeah, it really feels like wherever Orc Hero goes, Kao is already there. And whatever Orc Hero plans, Kao already knows it. So who gets the better end of a stick here? We need level 2 Blade Master. He definitely needs Mirror Image as well to get out of Entangle. Poison is spreading, detonates everywhere. These walkers don't do too much. And level 2 Alchemist now as well. Ooh, Kao is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The focus fire on the blade. Reveal. Oh, the level up saves him actually. Well done. For now, I'm not too sure how long this Blade Master's gonna survive in this fight, but that was a cool little save. Goes on the cost of pretty much his entire army, I gotta say. Serpent Wards are able to do a little, but if you lose a Kodo, yeah, that's for sure a good trade. We have more mana, more Entangle, more kills. Progress on the Alchemist is clearly visible. Now, with Raiders, he's trying to get a little bit of control in, but the right clicks of an Alchemist are always great. And Raiders, as we know, not the greatest fighting unit at all. Yeah, it feels like this early game was too inefficient. Courtesy of Keeper and Hunts for sure. That's what they're supposed to do. We get another reveal, we get another Entangle, and... oh! He was able to heal himself with the potion, aiming for the Alchemist. More reveal. So much reveal! Oh my god. Mother of all crystal balls here. Actually, is he able to kill the Alch? No way! Oh my god, it's 9 HP. Sick! Not enough! 6 HP! What a save by Kaho. Well done. Great escape by Kaho, but also solid fight for the setup. From Orc Hero's perspective, if he gets the Alchemist, this is a different game, for sure. But now we got Dryads up in so much control with so little to throw against it. A little bit of healing and recovery is necessary on both sides. It is daytime, so you can't use that fountain for free. Yeah, tremendous job by Orc Hero this series. Hey Vesti, what's up? Performing way better than he has any right to, I think. As a top 20 player, it's very rare that you look this good against a top 5 player. Usually a top 5 player is crushing you wherever you go. This is nice. This is very nice. Can he bring this back with more damage and higher levels? He has an Invo potion. Maybe one hero focus. The Keeper is still rather squishy. Oh, a little bit out of position here, isn't he? But Raiders can attack. Peons from behind. Blade Mass. Oh my god, this damage on Raiders. The damage on Raiders is crazy. Heal scroll a little bit too late for the two Raiders. It's all on the shoulders of the Blade Master and the Snakes. Here's the invul. It is a long one, but yeah. Night Elf supremacy, as it seems. Couple of Dryads falling, but this is not a fight that Orc Hero can take. It's a whooping 20 food lead. Press 1 to send energy to Orc Hero. He needs all the prayers, all the thoughts and prayers in the world. But actually, when do prayers ever work, right? So maybe he needs more of that. No reinforced defenses, so his burrows aren't safe. He's trying everything to stay in this game, to stay in the winner bracket after the success he had on game 1. But it's 5-3 versus 2-2. The level difference is crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, pretty much Kaho dominance from start to finish. Exactly how you're supposed to play Keeper Dryad. oppressive, annoying. Never let the orc unfold as he surpasses you in the late game. And now we're waiting for the guillotine to snap or for the GG to be displayed. Because there is no way out anymore. Keeper... I was about to say on the way to level 6, but I mean... Technically he is, but... I don't think we should expect tranquility here. That'd be the knockout punch for sure. One last hurrah, one last hero focus. Now, not any fancy experiments. No fun and games. Serious competition. And hey, we can finally get the null. That's something. On the other side, we get an alchemist to level 4. Yep, it's a pretty good hero combo, guys. Keeper alchemist. Genius invention by Moon. Five years ago or so. 6 years maybe. Now it's all dryads. We don't have tier 3, right? What are you at? Why are you at the tavern? Looking for your wife, for your mate? Dryads are just beelining. They got a nice rhythm, by the way. I'm pretty sure they're listening to some R&B. They got the earpods in. Maybe they should go to a dancing class with Leon. Alright, we do have level 3 Shadow Hunter. Yes, they should. Hey, mate! Here we go. We see the Keeper attack, but there's 2 heal scrolls and a TP. Is there a chance? There's no hex, right? So there shouldn't be. TP. There you go. Leon, have you been to Hurricane? I was thinking about you when the big storm was there at Sunday evening. I hope you were safe. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. If you haven't been to Hurricane, then just forget what I said. Yeah, this is an extremely one-sided affair. Dryads are way too safe. Oh, got an invo potion at the ready. Can't say the same about Blade Master after this one. There's more healing. And now,
cheeky smiley face.
Hey, cheeky Canooty! Thank you for the 23. Wait, why does it say 2 years plus? It shouldn't say 2 years plus. There was a 23-month sub. Still the kinks. Just like who might have lost the map, but still going through. Sadly not this year. It was too hot, wasn't it? It was too hot as well. So why is Canooty getting a 2-year sub? Alert box. Subs. Oh, because I put the wrong value in. Let's see. There we go. 1 plus.
Cheeky smiley face.
There we go. There we go. Okay, that's fixed as well. 2 bucks ironed out of our new alerts. And we're waiting for for me personally, main event. Main event of the day. Yeah, Kaho versus Orkuro was a nice warm-up, but Lawlight vs. Francis coming up.
What did the buffalo say when his son went away to college?
What did the buffalo say when his son went away for college? I don't know, mate. Tell me. Waiting. Bison. Nice, mate. Nice, 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 nice. Appreciate it, my man. Okay, Kao in the winner bracket, War 3, Orkiro in the lower bracket. And now Lolite. Will we see mass raiders or mass raiders? Bro, Leon. All the hate towards Francis, unbelievable. What else are you supposed to do against Night Elf? It feels like Night Elves are annoying everyone. So annoying them back.
더 일하라고요? 알겠습니다, 나으리. 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 예, 나으리. 네. 작업 준비 끝. 더 일하라고요? 그러죠. 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 더 일하라고요? 네. 예, 나으리. 무슨 일이죠? 작업 준비 끝. 여긴 못 짓겠는데요. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 예, 나으리. 더 일하라고요? 무슨 일이죠? 네. 예, 나으리. 작업 준비 끝. 더 일하라고요? 예, 나으리. 좋아요. 그러죠. 작업 준비 끝. 무슨 일이죠? 네. 네. 작업 완료. 작업 완료. 작업 준비 끝. 작업 완료.
힘이 더 필요합니다.
무슨 일이죠?
BBQ 먹고 FC 바르셀로나 서울 매치 직관 가자. 지금 BBQ 앱에
공장을 더 지어야 합니다.
작업 완료.
전투 준비 완료. 네, 전하.
더
힘이 더
일하라고요?
필요합니다.
좋아요.
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
작업 준비 끝. 네.
전투 준비 완료.
무슨 일이죠?
명령만 내려주십시오.
예,
나설
나으리.
만한 일이어야
작업
합니다.
준비 나으리.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
무슨 일이죠?
어서 말하시오.
네.
필요한 게 있습니까?
무슨 일이요?
예,
무슨
나으리.
일? 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 내
작업 준비
도움이라도
끝. 작업 완료.
네.
어서 말하시오.
더 일하라고요?
어서 말하시오. 전장
작업 완료.
하나가 부족합니다. 무슨 일?
무슨 일이죠? 그렇게
내
합죠.
도움이라도 필요하오?
예, 나으리 작업 준비 끝. 더 일하라고요? 알겠습니다. 나으리 더 일하라고요? 네. 더 일하라고요?
무슨 일?
왜 뒤져?
예,
어서
나으리
말하시오.
그렇게 합죠. 작업 준비 끝.
어서 말하시오. 내 도움이라도 필요하오? 무슨 일?
명령만 내려주십시오. 명령을 내리시겠습니까?
네.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
네. 거긴 못 짓겠는데요.
준비
거긴 못
완료.
짓겠는데요. 거긴 못 짓겠는데요.
아군 마을이 공격받고 있습니다. 어서 말하시오.
무슨
내
일이죠?
도움이라도
예,
필요하오?
나으리
완벽해. 어서
더
말하시오.
일하라고요?
무슨 일이요? 뭐요?
네.
내 도움이라도
네.
필요하오? 업그레이드 완료. 아군
무슨
병력이
일이죠?
공격받고 있습니다.
네, 준비 완료.
어서 말하시오.
작업
공장을
준비 끝.
여지어야
내려주십시오.
무슨 일이요? 내 도움이라도
더
필요하오?
일하라고요?
어서
알겠습니다.
말하시오.
나으리 예, 나으리 작업 완료.
어서 말하시오. 뭐요?
더 일하라고요? 작업 준비
무슨
끝.
일?
예, 나으리
명령을
내
내리시겠습니까?
도움이라도 필요하오?
제가
내
상대하겠습니다.
도움이라도
여기 있습니까?
필요하오? 무슨 일?
전투 준비 완료.
뭐요? 어서 말하시오.
작업 준비
무슨
더
일?
일하라고요? 나으리
내 도움이라도
일이죠?
필요하오?
네.
뭐요?
더 일하라고요?
어서 말하시오.
네. 거긴 못 짓겠는데요. 무슨 일이죠?
무슨 일이요? 어서 말하시오.
작업 준비
내
끝.
도움이라도 필요하오? 무슨 일이요? 뭐요? 어서 말하시오. 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
예, 나으리
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요? 그러겠소.
금이 더
무슨
필요합니다.
일이요? 좋았어. 어서 말하시오. 내 도움이라도
작업
필요하오?
완료. 더 일하라고요?
뭐요? 어서 말하시오. 무슨 일이요? 어서
예,
말하시오.
나으리
무슨 일이요? 그러겠소. 뭐요? 영광을 위하여. 완벽해.
작업 완료.
빨리 프로스타리세다.
여기 있습니까? 명령에 따르겠습니다.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
무슨 일? 참 기대되는.
명령만 내려주십시오.
어서 말하시오. 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
금이 더 필요합니다.
명령만 내려주십시오.
뭐요? 무슨 일이요?
네. 무슨 일이죠? 못
완료.
짓겠는데요.
어서
알겠습니다.
말하시오.
나으리
업그레이드 완료.
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 무슨 일이요?
여기 있습니까?
어서
더
말하시오.
일하라고요? 그렇게 합죠.
뭐요? 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
금이
어서
더
말하시오.
필요합니다.
그러겠소. 무슨 일이요?
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요? 전장으로. 인파리 프로스타리세다.
이 사람들 착하다. 착한 사람들.
여러분들 모공 사이즈 58평 아닙니까? 2.4평으로 제가 줄여드리겠습니다. 우리 남자들 스킨 모공 줄어드는 느낌.
아니 근데 손흥민 선수도 프리미어리그 득점왕 그리고 EPL에서 골 그리고 어시스트 이런 기록들이
뭐요? 완벽해. 무슨 일이요?
나무가 더 필요합니다.
무슨 일이죠?
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
전투 준비
어서
완료.
말하시오. 무슨 일이요? 어서 말하시오. 좋았어. 내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요?
작업
어서
준비
말하시오.
끝.
영광을
작업 완료.
위하여.
작업 완료.
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요? 참 기대되는군.
네.
무슨
동맹 마을이
나으리.
공격받고 있습니다.
완벽해.
네, 전하. 알겠습니다.
뭐요? 어서 말하시오. 무슨 일이요?
예, 거긴 못 짓겠는데요.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
여기 있습니까? 명령을 내리시겠습니까?
뭐요?
작업 완료.
동맹 마을이 공격받고 있습니다. 무슨 일이요?
전투 준비 완료.
내 도움이라도
전하.
필요하오?
작업 준비 끝.
명령만 내려주십시오.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
여기 있습니까? 명령에 따르겠습니다. 제가 상대하겠습니다.
어서 말하시오. 뭐요? 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 어서 말하시오.
네, 전하.
무슨 일?
명령만 내려주십시오. 네. 여기 있습니까?
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
뭐요? 내 도움이라도
명령만 내려주십시오.
영광을
네, 전하.
위하여.
명령을
아군
내리시겠습니까?
병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 어서 말하시오.
명령만 내려주십시오. 명령에
어서
따르겠습니다.
말하시오.
여기 있습니까?
내 도움이라도
네, 전하.
필요하오?
네, 전하.
뭐요?
명령만 내려주십시오.
무슨 일?
명령을
무슨
내리시겠습니까?
일? 참 기대되는. 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
네, 전하. 네. 전투
네.
태세로.
뭐요? 내
명령을
도움이라도
내리시겠습니까?
필요하오? 그러겠소.
여기 있습니까? 가는 중입니다. 명령만
내
내려주십시오.
도움이라도 필요하오?
네,
전장으로
전하. 공격. 여기 있습니까?
어서 말하시오.
명령을 내리시겠습니까? 알겠습니다. 제가 상대하겠습니다. 공격. 알겠습니다. 명령에 따르겠습니다. 전투 태세로.
업그레이드 완료.
명령만 내려주십시오.
좋았어.
네, 전하.
리포지드 구매하고 옛날 버전으로 플레이할 수 있나? 예, 옛날 버전이요. 옛날 버전은 좀 어렵습니다. 1.27은 어렵고.
어서 말하시오.
명령을 내리시겠습니까? 가는 중입니다.
뭐요? 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
여기 있습니까? 네,
내 도움이라도
명령만 내려주십시오. 명령만
아군 병력이
내려주십시오.
공격받고 있습니다. 무슨 일이요?
명령을
어서
내리시겠습니까? 네,
뭐요? 어서 말하시오. 내 도움이라도
더
필요하오?
일하긴 못 짓겠는데요. 좋아요.
무슨
예,
일?
나으리. 네.
연기
무슨
완료.
일이죠? 거긴 못
뭐요?
짓겠는데요.
무슨 일이요?
무슨
그러겠소.
일이죠?
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요? 어서 말하시오. 완벽해. 무슨 일이요? 뭐요? 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
더
어서
일하라고요.
말하시오.
거긴 못 짓겠는데요. 나으리.
어서 말하시오. 좋았어. 무슨 일이요? 참 기대되는군. 뭐요? 내 도움이라도 필요하오?
네. 예, 나으리.
어서 말하시오.
더 일하라고요.
내 도움이라도
작업
필요하오?
완료. 네. 무슨 일이죠?
뭐요? 참 기대되는. 무슨 일?
예, 나으리.
어서
예,
말하시오.
나으리. 그러죠.
뭐요? 무슨 일?
작업 완료. 무슨 일이죠?
프로스타리
네.
세다. 연이 완료.
여기 있습니까?
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 그러겠소.
네, 전하.
내 도움이라도 필요하오?
명령을 내리시겠습니까?
무슨 일?
여기 있습니까?
어서 말하시오. 아니, 근처에 있다.
명령만 내려주십시오. 네, 전하.
내 도움이라도 필요하오? 이런 자. 아군 병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 어서 말하시오.
작업 완료.
어서 말하시오. 무슨 일?
작업 완료.
있다.
작업 완료.
애들 장난이군. 정상으로 가시죠.
명령을
내
내리시겠습니까?
공격을 보여줬습니다. 내 도움이라도 필요하오? 뭐요?
명령만 내려주십시오.
더
아군
일하라고요.
병력이 공격받고 있습니다.
네,
어서 말하시오.
여기 있습니다.
완료. 무슨 일입니까? 무슨 일? 내 무슨 일이고 무슨 일이 있습니까? 그러겠소. 그러겠소.
저도 멀리옵니다. 네.
어서 말하시오. 명령을 내리시겠습니다. 이런 잡담 지겨울 뿐. 어서 말하시오. 사용.
라론이 안녕하세요.
건설이 완료됐습니다. 금이 부족합니다. 금이 부족합니다. 금이 부족합니다. 금이 부족합니다.
기다리고 있어. 명령을 내려. 어서 지시를.
금이 부족합니다.
준비됐어.
건설이 완료됐습니다. 건설이 완료됐습니다.
나야 살았다. 타올라라.
준비됐어.
후끈 달아오르는군. 그리 되리라. 말해보아라. 내게 맡겨라.
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중입니다.
어디로 가면 돼?
금이 부족합니다.
어디로 가면 돼? 기다리고 있어.
달아오르는군. 내가
준비됐어.
달샘을 더 만드십시오.
명령을 내려. 어서 지시를. 어서 지시를.
건설이 완료됐습니다.
기다리고 있어. 명령을 내려. 설명은 됐어.
거기엔 건설할 수 없어.
어디로 가면 돼? 어디로 가면 돼?
우리
알겠어.
신성한 숲이 더럽혀지고 있습니다.
내가 길을 밝혀주지.
뭘 도와드릴까?
어서 지시를.
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중입니다.
명령을 내려. 기다리고 있어. 어디로 가면 돼?
말해보아라. 타올라라. 명령은 내려졌다. 말해보아라.
기다리고 있어. 너무 심각. 명령을 내려. 좋아.
내게 맡겨라.
어서 지시를. 너무 심각. 어서 지시를. 설명은 됐어. 어디로 가면 돼?
건설이 완료됐습니다.
기다리고 있어. 알겠어. 명령을 내려. 좋아. 설명은 됐어. 어서 지시를. 알겠어. 기다리고 있어.
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중입니다.
어디로 가면 돼? 어디로 가면 돼?
내가 길을 밝혀주지.
어서 지시를.
명령은 내려졌다. 내가 길을 밝혀주지. 명령은 내려졌다.
금이 부족합니다. 건설이 완료됐습니다. 건설이 완료됐습니다. 부족합니다. 금이 부족합니다. 거기엔 건설할 수 없습니다. 건설이 완료됐습니다.
어디로 가면 돼? 기다리고 있어. 준비 너무 심각해. 어서 지시를. 좋아. 기다리고 있어. 설명은 됐어. 알겠어. 명령. 어디로 가면 돼?
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중.
지시를.
우리 신성한 숲이 더럽혀지고 있습니다.
명령 내렸어.
금이 부족합니다. 금이 부족합니다.
기다리고 있어. 어디로 가면 돼?
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중입니다.
명령을 내려. 어서 지시를.
건설이 완료됐습니다.
기다리고 있어.
금이 부족합니다.
어디로 가면 돼?
아군 전사들이 적과 교전 중입니다.
명령을 내려.
끝났나?
아다리는 기가 막히네 진짜. 이 신드라가 근데 만화도 없는데 집을 안 가? 미친놈. 진짜 괴롭혀야겠다. 죽어. 미친놈. 바드라고 바드. 어? 어? 아다리는 기가 막히네 진짜. 이 신드라가 근데 만화도 없는데 집을 안 가?
방송 이따 다시 키겠습니다. 좀 쉬어야겠다.